CiG Plat VI Semifinals 1, Game 1 of 3 between Forsteady and Bum Diggity.
Oh, and did you see that Go Sue probe split by Forsteady?
No, I must have missed that.
It was very nice.
Alrighty, and it looks like we do have Forsteady in the top right-hand corner of Tellerream Altar as the red Zerg, and Bum Diggity, which I will enjoy saying for the rest of the night, as the blue Terran in the top left-hand corner. So it looks like we do have, I don't know, still a long rush distance, but closer than cross positions, I'd say.
Forsteady individually selected each drone and selected a mineral patch for each one. And lightning speed time.
Yeah, I'm sure his APM was crazy when he was doing that. Well, it looks like right now, Bum Diggity is averaging 190 APM.
Wow, 300. He is spamming like crazy.
Yeah, it looks like he's spamming something. I would guess that S key probably.
Yeah.
I know I am an E spammer myself, being a Protoss player.
Yes.
But yes.
I use grid myself.
Yeah, I just use the standard hotkeys, but I'm old school like that.
Bum Diggity beginning his wall. He has a supply depot and putting up his barracks currently.
And it looks like Forsteady will come out here for a 14 hatch, most likely. He does have the drone down there, and the minerals have reached 300. So as soon as you quit lagging, we will see this 14 hatch. And it looks like we do have the 14 hatch going down, and standard everything else for Bum Diggity. And yeah, I'm not surprised at all to see this hatch before pool play from the Zerg player here, especially on this large, heavy macro map.
Exactly.
I mean, one of the things that make it a macro-oriented map is you have an expansion right out here outside your main, and also a second expansion extremely close to your natural over here, and then right if you knock down the rocks on actually I'm thinking of the wrong map. If you come around the little corner here and move down, you have this other little expansion here, but I believe in this matchup the Terran will probably most likely take this third or fourth expansion that the Zerg could possibly take. But most likely the Zerg will come back here to the south of his main base and start expanding over there for a possible fourth.
This looks like our spawning pool is just getting ready to pop. The factory being dropped.
It looks like the barracks will move back, and we probably will see some kind of bunker getting dropped down in that hole in between two supply depots now.
And you are correct.
And
right before the direction.
Perfect timing. And we do have the Overlord moving towards the right side of Bum Diggity's base, possibly keeping an eye out for that fourth expansion I was talking about. And currently Bum Diggity does have an SCV scouting the entire base of this Zerg player here. Does see the pool and the expansion.
We have a reactor going down for Bum Diggity, and looks like metabolic boost being researched, as well as a stride call being put down.
And we do have an evolution chamber down, but only one queen is out right now, and another one is not even being researched. Zergling's speed is about a third of the way done, and a starport has actually gone down, so it looks like we will have a little 1-1-1 build for...
2 Hellions being built.
Yeah, 2 Hellions out of that reactor at factory. I mean, that can hold off any kind of Zergling pressure that does come early.
He is building a tech lab, so I wonder if he's going to switch that factory with that barracks and research Blue Flame.
Yeah, some Blue Flame, that would be interesting, or maybe even some Cloak Banshee play. He does have a starport right there, too. Looks like it will be the starport that gets switched. Do have one Zergling moving up here to see these Hellions and get roasted like Zerglings do against Hellions.
He does get roasted.
And it looks like 2 more Hellions are going to pop out, so we do have 4 Hellions on the field for Bum Diggity at the moment.
And a Banshee and Cloak is on the way.
So it looks like we will have some Cloak Banshee play.
I've seen There is an evolution chamber down, and we do have a spore crawler in the back of Forsetti's base.
And 2 spine crawlers at the front here by the second choke of Forsetti. And now we do have an adequate number of queens out. Looks like these Hellions will move in, try and get this queen. Zerglings do come in. One is going to get roasted right away. A second does escape with a little bit of life. So we have Speedlings and queens against 4 Hellions here. The Hellions will be able to kite most of these units. The spine crawlers do a little bit of damage because they have, I believe, a 9 range on them. Or no, 7 range on them. It's the same as a photon cannon.
And those Hellions did not do a lot of damage, but they did stop the injects from Forsetti, and he's not injecting either one of his hatcheries at the current time.
Yeah, it looks like now he's going to go over and start spewing some of that queen slime.
And here's our Banshee.
Yeah, the Banshee does come in, and it looks like it will get 1 kill while the queen does chase it around. And
Spore crawlers being built.
Cloak has finished right now. So the first Banshee will be over here behind the natural, and it looks like some Speedlings will move out and do some kind of scouting, or maybe try and take his own out of tower.
I would like to see that Banshee kill a few of those drones. Oh,
yeah.
Spore crawlers already built.
We do have 2 spore crawlers there, but I think if he attacks from the left here, he would be unseen from that spore crawler. So he sees the spore crawler at the natural, and we'll head up to the side of the main at the moment. Looks like Zerglings did come in here to the main base of Bum Diggity and are going to take out some SCVs, but they will get taken out by the Marines and SCVs. And I believe a second base was halted being built because of the Zerglings, but we could see that finish any time. And it looks like he did control click all of his SCVs, so right now he has nothing on gas and just everything on minerals.
Now he's just now realizing that.
And still,
but he has forgotten about that command center. He's not building it.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to delay his expansion considerably, leaving that sit there 3/4 built.
We do see siege and sim being researched by Terran, as well as a medevac being built.
And
so we have level 1 attack being researched by the Zerg, and another hatch, and a Spire just being put down.
Yeah, it looks like the hatch will be forced to cancel because Banshee is just chilling back here waiting for it. But once the Spire is finished, that will be taken care of pretty soon. And it looks like we do have a Baneling nest up already. So he could morph these Zerglings into Banelings anytime he wanted. Currently, right now, we don't have any sort of ground units besides Queens at all for the Zerg player. But I believe 18 Zerglings will pop any second here. And it looks like the ground attack 1 is about to finish, and I believe we have some kind of hooks. I forget what those.
Centrifugal.
Yeah, centrifugal hooks. What are those? Those are for the Banelings, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes. Baneling speed.
It looks like.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that is Baneling speed. But it looks like the Zerglings will move in and get taken care of by these 2 tanks. And at the same time, the Zerg is going to sneak a little ninja expansion down here to the bottom left-hand corner base.
And Bum Diggity has still forgotten about that command center. Still sitting there with not being built.
Yeah, and he does have 2 idle workers right there next to it, too. It's too bad they can't just go over there and build by themselves.
Mutas are being created currently by our friendly Zerg.
It looks like he has noticed the command center and started building it right now.
So I see no engineering base. So these mutas, a Marauder's being built. These mutas are going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I believe the mutas will turn the tide of this battle even more. But having that command center sitting there unfinished for so long definitely hurt the economy. Looks like now the command center is finished and floating over the naturals, so that will be up and running anytime here.
Oh, he did have an engineering bay. I see it. By his gas. I didn't see that.
Oh, yep, there it is. I missed it too.
And 1 missile turret being built at the natural.
So it looks like a 4th expansion is going to go down here for Fostetti in the normal 3rd expansion spot for a player on the map. And the Mutalisks do move across the map, and it looks like they will intercept this drop trying to come down. But no, they just pass right by. I don't know if the players saw each other's harassment coming, but the Mutalisks will arrive here first and be able to take out a considerable amount of units and or structures. Looks like
Some Diggity has forgotten about the drop as well. He's just letting it sit there.
Yeah,
I think he's currently at the moment worried about these mutas.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like we do have Zerglings trying to run in here and cause some damage on the siege tank, and the siege tanks almost killed each other. Gotta love them big dumb siege tanks. And it looks like now Bum Diggity has taken control of this drop again and will move over to the main base of the Zerg player.
And he could take out these siege tanks if he brought those mutas over there, but he's going to fly away. And now Bum Diggity is repairing his tank.
Looks like Bum Diggity is going to drop here at the back of the main, but Zerglings will come in and clean this force up rather quickly. Believe that was a failed drop right there.
Yes, it was.
These mutalisks are going to move back over and try and pick this medevac off on the way back to its base. It looks like they will be able to. Actually, the medevac is going to drop here at the natural and heal its units up and probably try and do some damage to this expansion. While at the same time, a flock of speedlings is going to move across the map to the back door of the Protoss player. And at the same time, the mutalisks will move back into the main base. And there is currently nothing to take care of them right now. They are going to pick on the starport here a little bit.
The armory just completed, so I do believe we'll see a Thor as soon as this tank is built.
Yeah, a Thor would definitely help hold these mutas off. It looks like some Zerglings are going to come out over here and take care of the rest of this drop while the mutalisks come back to take care of the medevac. And we still have a handful of Zerglings over here for Faceti. And it looks like he will split those up and try and attack both sides of these tanks, but just gonna get wrecked.
And Faceti is creating a macro hatch inside his base currently.
Yeah, I do like that we'll be able to pump out a considerable amount of units. And down here he does have his hidden base up and running and a queen spitting that gooey queen goo on it.
And Bum Diggity just took his Banshee and flew it straight into the spore crawlers.
I guess that's one way to get some scouting information, but not very much.
Maybe he was trying to free up supply to get that something.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has supply block himself.
Looks like the Thor is on the way and one medevac and a marine. But it looks like the Zerg flying attack level 2 and ground melee weapons 2 are going to be researching for the Zerg player, and 12 banelings are on the way.
You do see a Hellion and a Marauder and an SCV moving out.
Oh, it looks like 3 banelings just blew themselves up to take out one Hellion here in the middle of the map. This Marauder is going to chase these Hellions back, or the banelings back, but they will eventually retreat.
So the the Marauder and the SCV do retreat?
Yeah, the Marauder and the SCV retreated. The banelings are going to push back out to the middle of the map here. The mutalisks will move over to the back of the natural here for... Actually, looks like they're going to go for the main where the production facilities are, but there is a small contingent of Marines and a medevac waiting for them over here. The mutas do go to move in, but see the Marines and pull back. It looks like a whole slew more of Zerglings are going to meet up with the banelings in the middle of the map here. While the mutalisks do try and fly into the natural and are going to focus down one of the missile turrets, so the other one does keep them at bay, while the Marine contingent does move around up there on that cliff with the medevac trying to get some kind of angle. The Thor moves over.
Supply blocking.
Yes, he does supply block Bum Diggity. It looks like he's unsupply blocked already, so he may have had supply depots building.
No, he dropped them.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that ability. And more...
We have a cloaked Banshee taking out the Zergling at the Zelnaga Tower.
Yeah, but it looks like more Zerglings just going to mass up here in the middle of the map, and as soon as the energy runs out on that, it will be taken care of very quickly by these mutalisks.
He is target firing the banelings.
Man, that'd be so money if those banelings would explode onto the other units. I like how he scans at the barrel of banelings there.
Those mutas are just anxiously waiting to kill this Banshee.
Yeah, but it still has quite a bit of energy. It's got 109 energy left on it, so it's going to be cloaked for at least a minute or so.
We do see that combat shields has been researched, as well as vehicle weapons 1 and weapons level 1 for the Terran.
Yeah, those infantry weapon upgrades with the stim do tend to change the battle for some Terran players.
And we did see an infestation pit dropped, and pathogen glands are being researched currently.
Let's say we have a little engagement here in the middle of the map. The banelings are in the middle of mutating, so right now is a good time to engage. The Thor is going to sit up there and deal damage. One Marine will get taken out. The rest of the Marines are down here in the low ground. They're moving to try and take out these banelings while they're morphing. It looks like almost three banelings go down while morphing. Still some burrowed units here in the middle of the map, but the majority of the banelings and zerglings did either get destroyed or ran back. And now we have the mutalisks pushing in here on the right side of the main base, where there is a small contingent of Marines and a couple of missile turrets waiting. The mutalisks
is a gaggle of mutas.
That indeed. Now we do have two gaggles of mutas. One will come down here and attack the natural expansion. I believe what he's trying to do is draw these Marines down to try and deal with these mutalisks while he moves into the main base with the others. And there are some zerglings over here at the third trying to maybe come in and
killed every SCV.
Yeah, I mean, when you get mutas in those mass numbers, it's pretty hard to hold them back. And now the Marines and medevac did move down, so the other mutalisks will be free to try and move in and do some damage to the main base. And meanwhile, more zerglings and banelings are going to come out here to the middle of the map and run into the Terran.
Is set at 27 harvesters.
Yeah, it looks like these zerglings and mutalisks, or zerglings and banelings will run through these tanks and get the majority of this ground infantry army. Only 2 tanks, a handful of Marines, and 1 Marauder left, with 1 Banshee flying overhead. And still a ton of mutalisks here in the middle of the map for Steady.
Bum Diggity forgot about his SCVs at his main. Oh, just now remembered them, and he is taking them to his natural.
Yeah, it looks like Bum Diggity is down to only be on 1 base, though, while the Zerg is sitting pretty on, it looks like 3 active and 1 mined out. Actually, they're all actively mining at the moment, but the main base will be mined out any time. And
he is sitting on 4,000 minerals.
And it looks like a ton of banelings being morphed in. But this Terran army will move in and try and get these banelings while they're in their cocoon form. The banelings will be canceled and morph back into zerglings. And it looks like the Thor is so low on life. 23 life left in that Thor.
Magic box there.
And it looks like all the zerglings got taken out, so just the mutalisks are going to be flying around here. Still a small amount of banelings and a couple of zerglings over here in the third base of Bum Diggity. Currently, these mutalisks do move into the natural, and they will start picking off these probes, and the Marauders just sitting there and not being able to shoot those giant rockets up in the air.
Fertile just built 70 zerglings.
Yeah, 70 zerglings. They just stream to the middle of the map from damn near every direction. And it looks like
so many banelings.
31 banelings in production, along with, I believe we already have 9 of them. Looks like we're going to have 39 banelings and 41 zerglings currently, along with...
Fertile is going to cause me to lag.
and along with 24 mutalisks. So the mutalisks do move in and try and take out these tanks, while the zerglings and banelings move in from the back and roll right through the rest of this Terran army. All the tanks, everything are going to get taken out. These mutalisks are up here just doing work. I don't think a single mutalisk got taken down. And then engagement.
The hive tech just finished as well.
Yeah, so 1 Thor and a handful of infantry units at the front of the Terran main, and a few in the back.
I'd like to see Fertile drop a few more hatcheries and go for ultras.
It looks like the Terran did manage to take down the third base of Fersetti here in the top expansion position. And he does have a rather nice creep highway heading across the map, almost down the little humpy ramp thing.
Humpy ramp thing, that's a very good description, Jay.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a hump and there's ramps on it, so it's a humpy ramp thing. Looks like another drop has gone down, and we'll be able to take out this queen at the main base, but the mutalisks do move in to take it out, with a few zerglings arriving just a little too late. Yeah, and currently, if we look at the units tab, we've got 57 drones to only 24 SCVs for Bum Diggity here, so it looks like the worker count is heavily in the Zerg favor. And being that the Zerg has just dropped 2 more expansions, he will be exploding in the minerals, even though he already has 3,000 floating right now. Looks like these banelings will take out a bunch of infantry units while Thor and a Marine deal damage to the rest of the Zerglings. But the Thor is just going to target fire those rocks, and the rocks have gone down. He did take care of the Zergling. The flock of Mutalisks are going to move across the map here and into the third to stop any kind of possible float-ins or plain old expanding. Looks like 2 Thors, a bunch of Vikings, and a handful of ground infantry units are on the map for Bum Diggity. And still like gaggle upon gaggles of Mutalisks.
So many Mutalisks.
And the Mutas are going to move in and start attacking the ground units and the Thors. 1 Thor goes down, second one's down, the ground units are going to get mowed right through. They do jump in the barracks, the Vikings do deal damage to the Mutalisks. Banelings do move in, take out 1 barracks. 1 barracks to go down, one bunker to go down, the second bunker's down. The Mutalisks are just doing all kinds of damage and run right through this Terran army. And I believe these Mutalisks are 2-2 upgraded, so 2-2 Mutalisks are gonna probably win this game. And there's a GG from Bum Diggity. So it looks like we'll go into game 2 of